Hi, everyone. This is Jane Celia Hatch. I am recording this morning from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I hope you can hear me. I just did an entire video without the audio, so I'm a little nervous. But I can see there's some sort of signal that I am using audio correctly. And I certainly have video because I can see myself. In case you don't know who I am, I'm a lot of things, actually. I'm a shamanic healer, I'm an herbalist, I'm a Reiki Master, I'm a psychic remote viewer. I'm also a survivor of the secret space program of MKUltra, and I'm also a targeted individual. And I'm also a writer. Like, maybe that's the basis of who I am, other than my soul energy. I'm a writer. Like, I write. That's sort of like, I don't know. I'm a lot of things, but deep down, I think I express everything through writing. And I'm a former whistleblower reporter, um, a journalist. So yeah, a lot of things. I'm also a mother of three daughters. So I am here today. I've been wanting to do remote viewing of the Los Angeles fires. I have purposely not watched any other remote viewer that I can recall, or psychic reading. I've also not really watched the news. I don't watch the news. For one thing, I know it's basically mockingbird media, the Nazi agenda that came in with Operation Paperclip. Even, the left and the right, they're both getting really extreme. So I used to, go one or the other to get certain information, but now I don't go to either. So I'm more and more depending on my intuition and my certain people, I do watch. But anyway, one of another really basic things about me is I'm always getting to the root of issues and social projects and what I call social engineering, and always wanted to see the root and the basis and what's really going on. And so I did that this morning at 5 a.m. I did remote viewing. Basically, it's just I'm sitting here and I'm asking to be shown the real issues, the real truth. And so I'm getting it from a very high perspective. And I'm going to relay to you what I saw. It was both the fires and the inauguration and a few other things. And what I did then and what I'll do now is I sort of just call in the loving and compassionate spirit guides, loving and compassionate power animals, positive Pleiadians. And I'm not channeling any of this. I'm just asking for them to hold a sacred space so that I'm protected, and I'm creating a space to call in the highest possible information. So what I saw this morning in the remote viewing, the first thing I saw was it looked like a World War II plane pilot, and very old looking. It wasn't new vessel, and they weren't. I knew right away they weren't saying this was responsible. They were saying, this particular pilot and this particular plane. It was a metaphor, but this was a deep state operation. This was not a natural fire. This was deep state. And when I say deep state, it's an umbrella for all kinds of alphabet soup organizations, and anywhere from the Freemasons to the Vatican to the CIA to MI5 to Department of Defense to NASA, and of course the American military, in particular the Navy, who has been involved in the secret space program and the illegal dark ops of the space organization for a long time. So, but I'm just going to use deep state. and then I saw that this, was a result of chemtrails in part. Like they are covering the planet. And I know, I have Elizabeth Wallace, my close friend, who I'm writing a book about. She's in the Netherlands. She sees them. They're seeing them all over the world. Santa Fe is just inundated with chemtrails. The military has polluted the land. I think there's like 5 or 6 military bases, and they're being sued by the state because they've polluted most of the water and the land. But it's the chemtrails are toxic. They're certainly killing wildlife, and they're polluted our if you're growing a vegetable garden and there's no protection, you're definitely getting some toxic brew, because this like a myriad of toxic chemicals in the chemtrails, and they're dropping them onto all our our trees, everything. They're going to kill everything if we don't stop them, or this isn't stopped. And I feel, like I said in my last video, everything is going to be turned upside down, inside out. It's going to be cataclysmic. So in a sense, we're going to see the roots of all this stuff, and they are going to be uncovered and revealed. But so now they can start a fire anywhere, anytime. And it did come from directed energy weapons. I did see that. It came from it was an air, like the plane or saucer. It was American military. And directed energy weapons have been around for decades. Raytheon was involved. Raytheon, the American company, which was actually started by a German immigrant, it started with the microwave oven. Now they're deeply involved in microwave weapons. And according to targetedjustice.com, they are definitely targeting civilians, those of us they feel are in the way and might somehow stop the deep state agenda. And I'm certainly been a victim of directed energy weapons every single day of my life. It still goes on, as are thousands of other people who are on this targeted individual list. But so I'm very aware, it's old hat. Directed energy weapons is nothing new about it. It is causing what they call Havana syndrome and other maladies, problems. So it was directed energy weapons, and this, they did this in other places. We believe they did it in Hawaii. They did it in that little town in California. Was it called Paradise? They're doing it here. I've seen too many testimonies from firefighters and other individuals that they were told to stand down. And I know in New Mexico, in the midst, and the fire was lit in high winds, supposedly controlled fires. And it seems to be happening one way or another. They're getting people off the land, in many cases into smart cities, which will be they're very, very ugly to begin with. There's several of them in Santa Fe. They're built on the worst land, and they're getting people off their ranches in New Mexico that have been there for probably centuries, the families, or decades, at least decades or 100 years. And, they ultimately want to herd them into these smart cities, and they have to get you off the land somehow. So I'm not saying that's what happened in California. I'll go back to that. So they ignited the chemicals, and it started the blaze, and it was very controlled. It was very specific. And one thing I saw that was very interesting, and I saw demons leaving these houses, like they were forced out. It was like little black ribbons of a sort of what you would expect like a Death Eater, a demon, to look like. And I was shown that like demons were running for the hills, or where I hope they're going off planet, because even though we're getting them out of those houses, those Hollywood houses, we don't want those demons on the earth either, because they'll make trouble wherever they go. So hopefully they're going off planet. That's something I could actually look into, see where they are, what they're doing, maybe help get them out of here if I'm called to do that. But I also saw there were definitely underground tunnels connecting some of these celebrity homes. I did see one celebrity. They went close up on one, which was Tom Hanks. I saw him burning papers. A lot of this, it was to get rid of evidence. They're really running scared. A lot of the celebrities that have been involved in sex trafficking and adrenochrome trafficking and pedophilia, pornography, mostly child trafficking, child rape, and Satanism. Many of them are involved. I'm not going to say 100%, but most of Hollywood at this point was demonic. So they're running for their lives, and if they're deep state, they knew about this. It wasn't a surprise, but they needed to get rid of evidence, and that's actually a really good sign that they're scared, like something's coming. And there it's an upheaval, it's a purging. And the Mother Earth Gaia, her vibration is getting higher and higher. She's evolving, and if you don't evolve with her, and I'm not exempt to this, like I got stuff I gotta process. If I want to stay here on the new earth, if you've been through MKUltra, you've been tortured most of your life, so you have stuff you have to deal with. But the thing is, and this was very clear, and I don't know if they told me in their outfit, this isn't going to save them because it's a vibrational change happening on the earth. Like it's not the old days, like you hide things in a safe or Watergate. It's like the earth is changing, and it's like you're going to be exposed if you're on a certain vibration. So unless Tom Hanks is turning into a loving, kind person, he's not going to escape condemnation, and maybe what much worse, or any of the other celebrities. So they can burn the places to the ground, but if they even change their frequency, they're going to come for you. They're going to come for you. And I don't know if it's the law. There is no law right now. We're lawless. But you're not going to be able to stay on the new earth frequency. So there is no escape now for the pedophiles. They have to either transform, or they're going to be taken off planet by their own vibration. They're going to go to a place where there's other people like them. So I saw that this was a controlled burn. It was a directed energy weapons burn, and they have chemtrails all over the planet, so now they can start fires anyway. There's barely any natural weather anymore. It's CERN and HARP, and they can create any kind of weather system they want. They can get people, like they did in New Orleans, like they're doing in Florida. They can get people off the land if they want to build smart cities, or whatever they want to do. Now, this is a really unique situation. This is prime land. I mean, so is Maui in a way. But this is prime property. This area I absolutely love. I mean, I love the coast of California. But I don't know if the pier is gone, but it's beautiful. But there was definitely, an unrest, and much worse. So it's like I'm saying, there is an upheaval. Like, do your healing, change your vibration, or you're going to be in the midst of an upheaval, because there's nothing stopping this. We are going into a new earth vibration, and you either move along with it, or you get burnt. You get thrown into it through much more dramatic ways, like a fire or some other apocalyptic event. So I also did see in the remote viewing that there was going to be more loss of land mass around the same areas. So that area is still going to be unstable. So whatever they're trying to build, it's be very let me see, what will they build? What are they going to do? So there's going to be a major cleansing. Like I see, like demonic evil, like leaving this area. And then yeah, I think it's more like high rises than smart cities. Usually they put smart cities on very poor pieces of property, like near highways, no place to grow vegetables or fruit, like no access to water. Like they know what human beings, what makes them expire quickly. And the faster they can get us away from Mother Earth, the faster we're going to expire, because she is our mother, on a spiritual level. And of course, the physical level, if you don't have water, if you don't have ability to grow food, if you don't have wood, then you're totally dependent on the deep state. And there's a Native American woman here in Navajo, Karen Bodini. She ran for governor, I believe, of New Mexico. And she said, you know, what the smart cities coming to New Mexico are the white reservations, because they did the exact same thing to the Native Americans, you know, quadrant them off into unfruitful land and took away all their ability to grow food and have you know, of course we all know they killed the buffalo. And so they're doing, it's just like, it's like we're no different to them, from the natives. Like they just find different ways to depopulate us. um so yeah, Karen Bodini called it the white reservations, the smart cities. So we definitely have smart cities here. I took a picture of them. They're ugly. It's another thing, you know, they want to assault our senses, make everything ugly, and just in a way uninhabitable in ways. They kind of look like the Russian, you know, we see the pictures of, I think Russia is like advancing now, but what we saw during so-called Cold War, you know, that the concrete 50-story graffiti shithole kind of place. And that's what the smart cities are. So I don't see those being built in Malibu. I see more like it was a way to get rid of a lot of evidence, but it's not going to help them. They don't know that. They should know that. They understand energy. So anyway, those fire, they've done what they need to do. They've, you know, and but it's still going to remain an unstable area. And I see land shifts around the Ring of Fire that goes actually through the East Coast too, and California. It's going to remain an unstable area for a while. So I did. The next thing I asked about was Trump, which I believe he is supposed to be inaugurated tomorrow. I have not watched him. I did see, I think it was on my YouTube feed, him and Melania looking up at fireworks. I felt like, are they on the same planet as me? I just like, I feel like the whole system, the presidential, you know, the Freemason on the top and us, the servants, the peasants on the bottom, is just crumbling. And they're just part of an old world. And then I did see, I usually, when I see Trump, at least in the last year, he's either dancing or joking, or one time he was kind of solemn. He showed me underground, deep underground military bases where they were keeping clones. He did show me that. And he was kind of serious about that. And that's when I saw that Kamala was a clone. And it doesn't mean they're bad, and it doesn't mean they're not them. It's just they're a weakened essence of themselves and much more controllable and programmable, a clone. So anyway, I saw that Trump was concerned about something. He wasn't didn't have his usual levity. I was looking at him, and he looked to his right, and he looked down, and all these people kind of worshiping him. It looked like they were inside a volcano or something. Like they were way, 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 way down, looking up at him with these like little, like cartoonish eyes, like, you know, worshiping. And he looked kind of guilty, like he has the Trump, I will say, has a conscience. I would say he's not demonic. He's not reptilian. Like I would say Bush and Ford and Obama are pure evil and not even human for the most part. Especially Bush and Obama. I've heard horrible, horrible things about Obama from women that were sex trafficked to them when they were children. And I've heard horrible, horrible things from Bush, about Bush, from a biological daughter of him who he used to sex traffic. And that's another whole story. And one thing I also heard from the sex trafficking victim who had been sex trafficked to all of the presidents, beginning with Carter. Rest in peace, of course, President Carter. But yeah, you were just one of them. But Trump, she said, was not cruel. Like that. So that's our high bar now for presidents. They sex traffic minors, but as long as they're not cruel, I guess they're okay. So I will say that Trump reportedly was not cruel, even though he supposedly reportedly, and I believe her. And it's just like, it's like you like, it's so systemic in our presidents that they are utilizing sex trafficked children. It's like saying, wondering if they actually get, if they brush their teeth or have breakfast. It's just what they do. And a big part of it is blackmail. They're filmed and reportedly filmed. Now, I don't know if this session with this woman was filmed, or it's just he's so under control, it's never come out. We also know that Trump is married to Israel, and that's a really scary thing. And we know he's a Freemason. There are some survivors of the secret space program who believe that Trump is somewhat of a savior. No one is a savior, I don't think, except for us humans. We have to save ourselves. He may be not stepping in the way of us taking our power, is the best I can say. He's certainly got more power than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I did a remote viewing on Kamala Harris. I actually ended up feeling, I didn't like her, and then I just felt extremely sorry for her, because she's just being used. The very height of the Freemasons and the Illuminati and the Vatican. They hate Black people and they hate women. So she is a Black woman, or supposedly. I think she's Indian, but she's a brown skinned woman, and they just use her. Like, they used her clone. She had to do whatever they told her, and God only knows what's going to happen to her now. She's going to be disposed of in some manner. But Trump has more power in a sense. So power to do good or to do bad, I don't know. He's definitely, a friend of Israel. He's a Freemason. You don't get to be a billionaire by being a goody two shoes. You've got to be corrupt and evil to make that much money. I'm sorry, but that's true. So what I saw, that there was some sort of, he is feeling very guilty. He's very concerned about something might interrupt this. It's something he knows about. It's not like a supposed assassination attempt. It's something he knows about, and he's concerned about it. I did not see beyond him making a speech. I just saw he was making a speech and he looked to his right. He's very concerned and feeling guilty about something. I pretend that this does not go well. I've already said his reign is going to be short. I think he had a lot of control the last 4 years. Everybody thinks it's Obama, but I don't know. I feel like, with Trump having such a connection to Israel, that he might have been in control, because certainly Biden was not. Biden could not tie his shoelace. He made no decision. They put him back in his coffin when they weren't pushing him around the stage, trying to make him talk, trying to get him to walk in the right direction. He was completely taken over, controlled. He was like, they probably made so many clones of him that his essence is basically gone now. So he had no power. Kamala had no power. So whoever was making decisions, was someone that had some power. It could have been Trump. So that's basically what I saw. I'm going to try. I keep saying this. I have got to do more videos, because when I don't do them, I forget how to use things. I don't know. I just get out of the whole scheme of things. And already my green screen looks a whole lot better than it did the last time. So what else do I want to say? So I'm hoping to get more into my healing work. I do shamanic healing. I do Reiki. I make herbs. I can do long distance clearings. I can do spirit drawings. I can look at your soul and draw a picture. I am now starting to work with altars and clones. I'm retrieving some of my own altars that were split off in the secret space program. I actually was able to rescue a clone part of myself from a cyborg. And that's another whole completely like new for me. So I'm really interested. I'm developing some ways to deprogram from MKUltra. So I'm hoping to share all of that at some point. So I will put all of that underneath. I hope everyone is well. Hold on to your seat, fasten your seatbelt, because we're in for a ride this year. But it's going to be a good one. It's going to be apocalyptic. Finally got to use that word. I couldn't use it much in journalism. They would always take it out. Anyway, lots of love. Bye.